Tuesday or whatever day of the week you're watching this, because it will be posted on a Tuesday, although I'm filming it on a Saturday, and you might see any day of the week, so happy whatever day of the week it is for you. Today's video, I will be reviewing the movie Cloverfield. It is a found footage movie from 2008. If you don't know what found footage is, it means the movie looks like it was like they found footage, like filmed from a handheld camera, rather than being the regular way a movie is filmed. I'm not sure how I feel about found footage movies. Like this one specifically, I think is good, but they really have to be done right in order for them to be good, in my opinion. Like, the camera can't be so shaky they're like, wait, what's going on? I can't even see what's happening. But at the same time, they have to make it look like someone is holding the camera and recording what's going on, rather than the way movies are usually filmed. So found footage for me is just like in the middle of what I like. But I really do like this movie, so that is the movie we will be reviewing today. And quick little disclaimer, I've been forgetting the disclaimers on my videos lately. I made this screen to happen at the beginning of my videos, and you'll see it on this one, but I forgot it on my first two movie review videos, because this is just my third movie review video ever. So, little disclaimer, I've been forgetting the disclaimers, but not anymore. And once again, if the comments are on, if they're not glitching anymore, because they have been, please leave some advice or kind words, advice on fair use rules, so that I don't get my videos flagged for copyright. So without further ado, let's get right into this video. So real quick, I just want to say, if you're considering watching this movie, you should, it's a good one. But at the same time, don't watch it if you have photosensitivity or a sensitivity to motion, because I'm not a photosensitive person and I'm not sensitive to motion. But there's even still parts of this movie that like give me butterflies in my stomach, because like it's crazy, because it's supposed to look like it was filmed by just someone holding a handheld camera. So little disclaimer, if you have photosensitivity or sensitivity to motion at all, don't watch this movie. Otherwise, watch it because it is really good. There's this certain type of epic feeling that is really captured with found footage, because it makes it seem more real. It makes it seem like you're actually there instead of just watching the story happen. So now we can get into segment 1 of this video. I know, already a few minutes in, I'm trying to make the intros a little bit shorter, but now we can get into segment 1, my expectations for this movie before I watched it. So, if I remember correctly, I saw this movie already a few years ago, and I can't remember the exact years, like it was like 4 maybe at this point. I might have seen it in 2020. I do, however, remember there was a crazy coincidence. The day I watched it, that exact day, exact month, exact day, matched up to the day that they showed on the movie. It was so crazy. It was one of those crazy coincidences. Now, I can't remember what day they show at the beginning of the movie, but that day in like 2020 is the first time I ever watched it. And I can't really remember too much of what I was thinking going into this movie the first time. Like, I had heard some good things about it. The first time I ever heard of it is when I saw this video where they were comparing big monster creatures, like their sizes, and they're comparing the monster from this movie to Godzilla. So that was the first time I ever heard of this movie, and my dad told me it was found footage and that we should watch it. So it's like, yeah, we should. So I had like mild expectations for this movie, but not too much, because I didn't even know too much of what it was. So my expectations were like 5 out of 10. Because I didn't even know too much what this movie was about. I was going in it knowing, oh, big monster, New York City, found footage, and that was really it. So now we can get into talking about the actual storyline of the movie. The movie begins, and we learn that our main character, Rob, him and his girlfriend, Beth, live in New York City. And it begins showing that they're going on a date to Coney Island, and they're filming that day. But then it jumps right away to a little bit in the future, where a different person is filming. So it shows that someone else is filming over the footage on that tape by accident, which is an experience I can actually relate to. When I used to use an old-fashioned camera, when I did that once, when I realized I filmed over other footage, I was like, oh no, that's like the worst feeling ever. So that's something modern cameras do a lot better nowadays, but that's besides the point. It jumps to the future and it shows that Rob's brother Jason and Jason's, I think, wife already, I can't remember if they're just together or married, but his wife or girlfriend Lily, they're going around, they're getting a party ready for Rob because he just got a big business promotion where he's going to Tokyo. You also find out that Rob and Beth broke up, that they had a falling out, and because this is like a few months in the future, I believe. So you learn that they have a falling out, but that some of Rob's friends and family are gonna throw a surprise party for him to congratulate him about his business accomplishments and that he's going to Tokyo. So later, when they're actually setting up the party, the camera ends up in the hands of another friend of Rob's. His name is Hud. That's his literal name, like H-U-D. But anyway, besides that guy's funny name, you learn that they're filming all of the congratulations from Rob's friends and family so that they can send him with a videotape to Tokyo as well as the party. So that's the excuse that they have in this movie for having the camera. They had to have some excuse. So that's why they're filming everything. They want to film everyone's congratulations. So Rob gets there as like, surprise, here's the party, yay. And then Beth ends up showing up too with like her new boyfriend or something, and like gets all awkward, and the friends are wondering what's going on because they didn't even know that Rob and Beth used to be together. Like apparently their relationship was secret or something. So they're like, oh my. So like the party gets a little awkward, but not too much. And Hud ends up going with Jason to go talk to Rob, make sure he's okay, like that's not too weird. So they're talking on the balcony about life and everything when they hear an explosion, and everybody's like, wait, what's going on? So everybody runs back inside, and on the news they see that an oil tanker flipped over and hit the shore. But like, this is one of those huge boats. They're like, oh, what's going on? Maybe we can see it from the roof. So they go to the roof, and that's when like they see a bunch of havoc. They see explosions starting to happen in Manhattan, and they're like, what's going on? And you start to get glimpses of this strange, gigantic creature among the buildings. So everyone runs outside the building, and they're in the street. Everyone's panicking. People are running up and down the street. And then the head of the Statue of Liberty just comes crashing down into the middle of the street, and everybody's like, oh my. And this is when you get another glimpse of this gigantic creature's head in between the buildings. Now you don't see it too well because like the camera's a little shaky, and it's like there's a lot of smoke rising from all the havoc being caused, so you only catch a glimpse of it, but that makes it even creepier. So then Rob ends up getting a call from Beth, who's stuck in her apartment building because she had left the party a little early, like to avoid some of the awkwardness that was there. So now she's stuck in her apartment building, and now he wants to go and get her, of course, but that would mean going back into the fray, like into the main part of Manhattan. So him, his brother Jason, Lily, Hud, and this other girl named Milena, so there's 5 of them, they go and they start searching for Beth. Now I'm not gonna tell you who dies because I want you to be surprised, and also the more I give away about this movie, the more likely I am to get flagged for copyright issues. But their party of 5 turns into a party of 4. Let's just say someone doesn't make it. So now it's 4 of them still on their way to see if they can save Beth because she's all injured and stuck in her apartment building. Apparently her apartment building was like in the middle of Manhattan, which is where I want to live. But this movie sometimes makes me think otherwise because I'm like, the worst things will happen in a big city, not a small town. But someday I'll probably still move there, but that's besides the point. They're going and they're looking for her, and they end up the subway tunnels because underground is safer than above ground. Not only is there that gigantic creature, but there's like mini versions of it. They're about like not too huge, but like the size of a big dog. They're creepy looking. They look like crab, spider, alien type things. So they're in the subway tunnels. They're walking to the next exit, and a swarm of those small, tiny creatures starts following them. It's, I think, the creepiest part of the movie. And it turns out that these creatures, that their bite is possibly lethal. They're not sure yet. But then they end up losing someone else from their group, so now it's down to 3 of them. They went from 5 to 3 in like an hour, which just goes to show how crazy things are over there. So eventually, the 3 get to Beth's apartment building, and it's all destroyed. It is literally leaning on another building. So this is the part of the movie that gives me like the butterfly feeling in my stomach, because they're in a tilted building, in a tilted hallway, and there's like flashing lights. So once again, if you're photosensitive, be warned from this movie, even though it's a good one. So they find Beth, and she's injured, but she's alive. So then they finally get out of the apartment building, but when they're on the roof of the apartment building, you probably get the best look of like this creature, because they actually see it kind of from above. So that's probably when you get the best look of this creature. So they're able to save Beth, and now they are trying to get to a helicopter, because there's some helicopters taking people out of the city. So they get to one, well, 2 of them actually. One of the characters gets into one of the helicopters, and the other 3 characters get into the other helicopter. Now, I'm not gonna tell you, but only one character makes it out of this movie alive, and that was the one in the first helicopter. She makes it out of this movie, and that was a little hint. That was a little hint there. She makes it out of this movie. But the other 3, that creature ends up taking down this helicopter, and they end up in Central Park underneath a bridge. And now apparently the government couldn't find any other way to terminate this monster except to nuke the entire city, which I found kind of unrealistic. Like, I know they want to kill it, but this is New York City. I don't know, but they have to nuke the city, and the 2 who are still alive are underneath the bridge, and you hear the sirens going off in the back, like the city sirens to warn people, and it's super epic, super dramatic, and that's where it ends. So basically, the only one who made it out was the one in the first helicopter. She was the only one to make out this movie alive, and I mean, good for her, you know? I mean, she's gonna probably be traumatized for the rest of her life, but besides that, besides the trauma and the permanent scarring that stays with you forever, besides that, she made it out alive. However, all the others died. So it's like, it's a crazy movie. If you want a feel-good movie, this is not it. But if you want to watch an epic, dramatic, action / minorly creepy movie, this is a good one. And it does found footage pretty well, in my opinion, because like the camera's shaky enough to where like it feels like you're watching footage, but not so shaky to where you're like, oh my, I can't even see what's going on. What is going on? So this movie just found footage really well. I will give this movie like a 7.8 out of 10. Like an almost 8, but maybe not quite. It's around there. I do like to watch this movie. I can't watch it too often, but it's like it's a good once in a while movie. I would recommend it if you're into this genre and if you don't mind watching found footage. So yeah, now we are on to segment 4, the expectations versus the outcome. So I expected this movie to be like 5 stars out of 10, and it's actually 7.8, so it's 2.8 stars higher than I expected it to be, and it's a pretty good movie. I like this movie. Now, like I said, disclaimer, if you're photosensitive or sensitive to motion, do not watch this movie. And if you're looking for a feel-good movie, do not watch this movie. Other than that, I really do like it. It has a very realistic feel to it. So, and it does found footage really well. So overall, I like this movie, and I would really recommend it if you're looking for this type of movie. So yeah, that is my opinion on it, and I hope all of you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button and subscribe, and